What's up, everyone? Welcome. It is Tuesday. It's my first time going live with you guys. I want to talk about the issue plaguing America right now, which is, we keep having this conversation about gun control and about mass shootings. And I think, hello, everyone who's joining me. Um, I don't know. I'd love to get all your thoughts on this. I don't know a single person of any political persuasion who is like, yeah, I am totally cool with mass shootings. That is awesome in my book. So you would think that we could all agree. Hello, Gary. You would think that we could all agree that they're terrible. But that's not the debate that we find ourselves having. So here's the thing. The Bill of Rights is really clear about this one. It's not, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, except when the government decides that they don't like that anymore. And it's not the right of the people to keep and bear arms, unless the gun is really scary looking. It is the right to keep and bear arms, and that shall not be infringed. They were very, very clear on this. It is your God-given right to protect yourself, to protect your family. It is your right. It is my right. It is our right as citizens of this country to be able to protect ourselves the best way that we can, whether it be from an intruder, whether it be from, a big corrupt government. Obviously, the founding fathers had some experience with tyranny and a tyrannical government. And, it is our right. It is our God-given right. That is very important to understand, first off and foremost. And, you think about all of these gun control propositions popping up, especially primarily from the left. You start chipping away at those rights. Eventually, you turn into, a place like Hong Kong. Look at Hong Kong right now. They're standing in the streets. They are protesting against a big corrupt government, against tyranny, against a government who is doing unspeakable things to its people. They're protesting against that, and they are waving signs that say, we need the Second Amendment. They're practically waving their arms saying, hey, America, you big dummies, stop shitting all over your freedoms. Do you not understand what could happen if you don't have those? I mean, they're over here trying to warn us, to try to tell us, you guys you don't want to just piss those away. Like those are pretty important. And you think that it might not happen in 2019, it's happening to us. So it's hard. It's a hard thing because you also want to keep in mind here that we do have a problem in America. We do. I would agree that our society is sick. I mean, you used to have people who went they had rifles, they had shotguns, they had whatever in the back of their pickup trucks. They drove to school with them. It was not a big deal. We weren't just killing each other for no reason. So our society is sick, and I think it's important to recognize that. We're teaching our children, first off, that life isn't valuable, right? So the same people who want to take our guns away. They want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens. The same people who want to take my gun away, who want to take away my ability to protect myself, they are fine teaching young girls it is their human right, not just in the first trimester, not just in the second trimester, not in the third trimester, up until the point of birth. It's not even like, oh, well, it's just at the beginning of the third trimester. So, no, they're teaching our young children, our girls, that it's okay for them to murder their own innocent babies up until the point of birth. They're teaching our men, our young men, to shut up if they don't like it. You need to shut up and go along with it because it is my basic human right to kill my child. And then they're acting shocked that we have a society that doesn't value life. Well, how can you have a society that values life when you're teaching them off the bat? You are teaching this entire new generation of people that life isn't valuable. You're not going to have that. You're not going to be able to teach society that when you're teaching them that, like, the most basic principle, which is an innocent baby, an innocent life should be valuable and should be protected and is worth having. We're telling people human life isn't even valuable enough to do that. So, it's not a surprise that society doesn't value life anymore. I don't have all of the answers, obviously. But what I can tell you is until we start valuing human life, until we start treating each other as human beings, until we start respecting each other's right to exist, no matter what hat color we have on, okay? Even the ones wearing the red hat, hey, guess what? They deserve respect too. They deserve a right to exist too. Until we get to a point where we can respect each other's right to exist, the problem's going to continue, whether it be with guns, whether it be with knives. I see someone in here saying, I'm in Canada, we have lots of peace without guns. Okay, well, you know what? The places that don't have the guns, there are knife attacks, there are van attacks. In Canada, you had someone driving a van into a crowd of people. They have acid bombs that are thrown in people's faces in the UK. You've got regular bombs. Whatever the case may be, whatever that object may be, until we solve the sickness that's going on in society and the devaluing of life and the division and the hateful rhetoric and treating people like they're not human, it's gonna continue. We have to find our humanity again. And we cannot be swayed by media sensationalism, by, an entire subset of lawmakers who tell you, if you would just put it in my hands, I will solve the problem for you. It's really important to keep context in mind here when we're talking about that, because, yeah, cool, you're telling us how you're going to keep guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands. That's great. How are you going to keep guns out of the hands of criminals? Because they've already got them. They're continuing to get them. You've got gun-free zones. They blow right through those. It's already illegal to kill someone. They don't seem to care. It's illegal right now to shoot someone dead. Doesn't matter to them. I mean, I don't think that it's like a bombshell to drop here that criminals don't care about laws. That's why they're called criminals. That kind of goes along with the title, right? So I think it's important to keep context here and to understand that, like, by definition, the criminals are not going to respect laws. That's why they're criminals. So what are we going to do to keep it out of the criminals' hands? You're telling me how you're going to disarm me. You're telling me how you're going to disarm me, a small female who doesn't really have the ability to defend herself using what? My fists? So you want me to be a sitting duck? At least tell me how you're going to keep it out of the hands of criminals. Because you're not. They're always going to exist. So you either give the law-abiding citizens a way to protect themselves, or you leave us all to be sitting ducks. And, as much as the media and the left, they don't want you to realize this. They don't want you to think about this particular part. So this is very important. When you look at the causes of death in this country, you look at the causes of unnecessary death in this country. First and foremost, you are much more likely to die of an abortion before you even leave your mother's womb. You are far more likely to die of an abortion than you are from any sort of mass shooting. You are more likely to die of heart disease and obesity. Far more likely to die of heart disease and obesity. I don't see anyone calling to ban McDonald's. All right? You are more likely to die from drunk driving, whether it be a drunk driver that crashes into you or you yourself are drunk driving. You're far more likely to die from drunk driving. I don't hear anyone calling for us to go back to the prohibition ages. You know what? Here's another one. You're more likely to die from a doctor who makes a medical error. So maybe he's performing surgery and he just screws up. You're more likely to die from that than you are a mass shooting. I don't hear us calling to ban doctors. So don't tell me it's the gun, all right? You gotta use your heads on this one. You gotta put on, here's your critical thinking cap, okay? You gotta put it on and you gotta really think about this. We're not assigning blame to any other object when we're talking about unnecessary deaths in the country. except somehow guns are like the lone reason. Guns do not kill people. People kill people. That does not negate my Second Amendment right to protect myself and my family. It just doesn't. I'm trying to keep up with your comments, but they're very hard to read from all the way back here where I am. But I do want to hear your thoughts. I do want to hear your thoughts. James talking about ban from McDonald's. I mean, I'm serious. I'm serious. And I do plan to make a video. Hopefully it'll be out Thursday on the rising obesity epidemic and the way that we're just glorifying obesity. We're glorifying abortion. We're glorifying all of these things that really are showing that we don't value life. Because if we did, we would treat our humanity with a little bit more dignity and a little bit more care. We wouldn't be stuffing our faces at McDonald's and getting obese and making ourselves more prone to diabetes and heart disease and all of these other things that we know are going to lead to a shorter lifespan. We wouldn't be killing our children in the womb. Our children who are fully formed, viable children, third trimester up to the point of birth children, living and breathing. We wouldn't be killing them if we valued life. We wouldn't be doing these things. So I really do think that it's important to step back and realize the context. You can't just listen to CNN telling you that there's 10 million mass shootings so far this year and we have to do something. Well, we have to do something. Okay. Don't trust a media who doesn't report about any of the gun violence going on in Democrat-controlled cities like Chicago, Detroit. Every single weekend, there's record high gun violence going on in all of those cities. There's black on black crime. Blacks are killing each other in the streets of Chicago. All of a sudden, the media cares when it happens somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not going to trust a media who doesn't care about any of the violence when it's black on black crime. Now, all of a sudden, they want to act like they care. Now, all these politicians want to act like they care. Yeah, I'm going to pass on believing that one. Yes, the left wants us unarmed. I mean, you're easier to control when you're unarmed, right? Please, they'll just roll right over you when you're sitting there and you're unarmed. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Unicorn. Thank you everyone for watching. I just felt like, you know what? I know I do these funny videos, but I gotta come on and I gotta just get it all out here. There's so much craziness going on. There's so many people spouting so much nonsense about gun control. Well, if only we had more laws, the criminals would what? All of a sudden follow the rules? They're not gonna follow the rules. More laws are not going to work. I mean, this guy tried to apply for a gun and got denied. So, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit around and wait for a criminal to follow a rule. I'm going to exercise my God-given, yes, I said God-given, and I don't care who I offended, my God-given right to protect myself and my family. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and let the government take that away from me. So, thank you for watching. Yes, they will not unarm us. That's what I like to hear. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure. I hope to do these more often with you. If you are not following me across all of the social media outlets, please do so. It is at Sara Gonzales TX. That is, of course, Sara with no H, Gonzales with an S at the end, TX as in Texas, which is, by the way, still the greatest state in the country. Thank you guys again for watching. If only I could figure out how to turn this thing off. That would be great. If anyone wants to let me know. I'll get the hang of this one of these days.